All right, all right, all right. Welcome to GUFON tonight. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Monday. I can't believe it. April 14th, 2025. Yep, we're moving forward. Ooh, no good. No match. No good. It looked good in darker light, but not a match. So we got to go with what works all the time. And we go with and a little curvature of the earth. Look both ways before adding that hat, and I wouldn't pick this hat, but for this, it's all right. So I want to say thank you for hanging out because it is the beginning of a new week. It is the Monday, yeah, and the weekend was a little slow, but it kind of made up for it in the last 36 hours. Lots of interesting sightings and reports that have come out regarding sightings and reports. Kelly Lewis is here and became a member again, renewed. Thank you very much as I try not to ingest my own heart. Thank you, Kelly Lewis, a continuing supporter of GUFON. You also can be a supporter of GUFON by being here and liking and sharing and subbing it. Yeah, all that. You can help the other ways too with the Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description. Even memberships. They're all there. You know where to find them. It's YouTube. It's the only place we're at. Yeah. Yeah, no, we didn't spread ourselves out too thin. Now, that didn't happen. All right. Yeah, so I know what you see in tonight's topic. Don't let it throw you off. Don't think for any reason at all. This is the same show as we did yesterday, the day before, 2 days before that, because we weren't there that day. Yeah. They all seem to be around the same kind of thing, right? Hey, drones are in the news all the time now. Can't get away from it. But anything goes as far as UFOs. But we are going to be the ones that are responsible for disclosure. That's how I feel. Not a government. Not any government. It'll either be we the people or the aliens themselves projecting, no pun intended, themselves into our community. How could this be halfway gone already? I've only taken like 15 hits out of it. Jesus. Half a gram don't last that long in the vape world, does it? $7. Everything was 80% off. That's it. That's all I had left. All right, let's get started. We'll see who's here. And we've got some videos to show you. Of course, look at the thumbnail. Oh, who's here right now? I see some people. Hey, Glenn. Glenn Collins is here. Welcome to this show. You too, Glenn. Thank you for the message. Burning the Veil with Anjali. Welcome to the show. We missed you. Hope you had a nice weekend. Glad to see you here. Samo! Gufonian Rockstar. What's up, Chief? Welcome to the show. Marcel! Gufonian Metal Head. What's up, my man? Welcome to the Brookers. Yeah. You know. Welcome to the show. Huh? Stephen A, everybody. Stephen A. What do you say? Yeah. I don't know. It could only last a day if I just, did that. Yeah, no. It's good too. It's really good. I think it's 85% THC, but 4% or 14 with the turbines. It was high. Felicity, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Mr. Dan Peters, how are you? You say in the chat here, I see wolves come around pack animals protected here. A lot of people want shot. Dangerous as grizzly, no guns, dead. Got to protect yourselves at all times in this world. You know, scary place when you're out there. Hey, Moonhawk, you know, everything out there is designed to kill you if you invaded its territory. We're the only ones that have laws. Take that back. I take that back. It's not true at all. Chimpanzees mark their territories, right? Whales, sharks, they have a zone. Don't come here. Don't go over there. If you go past here, you're going to fall into lava. They play the games too. Well, life and death, but they play them. Borders are necessary. Do you understand? It's how you maintain a consistency in your evolution. Well, that sounds like white supremacy to me. Not really in the animal world. That's not how it works. It's the strong will survive. That's it. But that's it. Are the aliens? We talked about this yesterday. What are they going to do? You think they're going to help us if things go awry? Hey, if I didn't say your name in the roll call, doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I already started the show. But welcome. Aaliyah, welcome. Contrary, 111. How you doing? Welcome. So, you know, in the real world, where there are no laws, but there's the rules or laws of the animal kingdom. Everything's out to get you. If you invade the territory or are a threat to family, new younglings that were just arriving out of the womb of a Giselle so effortlessly. Let's get started, shall we? I think I want to read emails too, or comments. Maybe we'll read comments at the end of every show. Comments, you know, in the comment section, not here. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat room for you. See if I can do it after, this is the thing I'm going to try. When I get done talking about the topic, instead of just rolling on over and going to the next topic, I am going to engage with the chat room and see what my peeps are asking or thinking or commenting on, if anything. All right. Is there a sugar-free Tang? Somebody look that up. All right. A lot of stuff to go over. So let's just start with the video. We're just going to go into it. Pulling it up. Yeah, I got these videos. Not all of them. These next couple are from Third Phase of Moon. But they're good. They're good for discussion. I guess I should say that. I think they're really good to teach, to learn what to look for, to see mistakes that, I'm not saying third phase, that people make, regular old people. Oh, I had the video ready. Oh, yes, I did. Yeah. I hate that happens. There it is. Yeah, third phase. People still giving them crap. You know what they're giving here? I want to show you something. Oh, you can't see it. Let me see if I can show it to you another way. All right, I'm going to show this. People say this in their comment section. People just so mean. How come the thumbnail doesn't even match the video? How come the thumbnail doesn't match the video? Because third phase of moon says, close encounter, metallic sphere, UFO encounter, up close footage. See how they show it like this? Okay. I don't see a problem with showing that, but people hated that. What world are we living in where people don't understand how thumbnails really work? You're not supposed to do one thing and show another. They're not. It's like a caricature of the UFO you're about to see. If you were to have a close-up, like high definition, super close-up engagement, yeah, it's a little exaggerated. But you weren't there either. You can't say it didn't get that close and nobody recorded it. So anyway, I'm just sticking up for thumbnails. That's all I am. Thumbnails sticking up. All right, here we go. Let's see if this, it worked.
Check. Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake.
Oh my God, guys, this is ridiculous. What you're about to see may be the most weirdest thing
Along
ever.
with my brother Brent, we're going over incredible UFO videos just into Third Phase
Everybody's
of Moon.
Everybody's going to say it's fake.
A wacky one
All
right
of
now.
You will.
It almost reminds me of whack-a-mole. Look at this orb dancing around. It comes out of the hole. Is this some kind of life form? We see wildlife in the area, but look at this thing as it comes out from the ground, leaving some kind of mist, a smoke trail, and then this plasmic orb appears. Just watch this.
Huh. That's weird. It won't let me say thank you to Phil. Hey, Phil, thanks a lot for gifting those memberships. It won't let me thank you in the chat. I'm just going to type it out and see what happens. That is weird. Here we go.
All right, this video is getting weirder and weirder as we're watching this. We're kind of in awe, bouncing orb, playfully, it seems, coming out of this hole from the ground, leaving plasmic smoke, just weird trails behind it.
So weird.
This was captured on a security cam, and I think it's been out for some while now, but it's the first time I've seen it today. That's why we're sharing it here on Third Phase of Moon. I want to get your thoughts from around the world. We're actually broadcasting from the big island of Hawaii. Those frogs, or those chirping sounds you hear in the background,
how weird this is?
Those are frogs, by the way. They were invasive species from Puerto Rico, but we're looking at something that's
FAP got that membership
coming out of the ground here, and the wildlife. Brent, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is wild. I wonder what kind of animal
Phil.
that was. Was that a raccoon? Let us know in the comments. But look at this thing. You could see it kind of perched in the hole, and
this thing makes no sense to me.
Cloudy smoke. Is this thing hot?
Look at that.
It seems so. Look at that thing just come out of the hole and scurry on the ground like it's alive. Then it does these.
It looks like
really
a cartoon.
Neat, bouncing, erratic moves. Now you
see
it
one
glowing
membership.
within the hole.
I saw that.
And it just kind of smoothly comes out. Look at this thing. This plasmic red orb just floating at this point.
Okay, I also left a comment and said, you guys, please stop saying plasmic. It's so ridiculous. They're the only ones that say plasmic to every single thing. It's plasmic, it's plasma, it's plasmoid sphere. No, and no. Where do you get the? Where do you see that? It really blows my mind.
This is incredible footage. Is this proof of ball lightning? Here it comes. It's coming
Ball
back down
lightning?
into the hole. This is incredible. Then it just
I want you to look at the light that's coming out of it. It's cartoonish. Hold on, I want you to see this go into the hole. How it wiggles on the way down like it's a cartoon. Watch.
This is incredible footage.
Here it comes.
Is this proof of ball lightning? Here it comes.
Look at that.
It's coming back down into the hole. This is incredible. Then it just seems to hide. Then it does this
This is
plasmic
so bizarre.
charge. And now
it
we
doesn't
have
make
kind of
sense.
a different filter on it to see it. But look at this thing again as it comes out, and it
Boing,
does these nice
boing,
little fun bouncing action.
Come on.
This is indeed some of the best
Is this
of
fake,
ball
guys?
lightning or
Hey,
some sort of
conundrum.
plasma ball that I've ever seen in my life. This is amazing stuff.
How do you know it's plasma? Where do you see plasma? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, give us a big thumbs up for this premiere
My
right
bad,
here
I
at Third
forgot,
Phase of
you're
Moon.
right.
Now, we've got another video for you coming in.
It is. It's
Let's
plasma.
take a look
My
at this.
bad.
Roll it.
All right, here we. Oh, this is a good one. This is a nice balloon. Two balloons, I think. Two balloons
Once again, the
here.
spherical metallic orb captured
Yes!
approximately at 30,000
That might be
feet
what
by-
it is. It does remind me of, and it looks like it was made from Japan. They got. That's the way a Japanese artist would make a bouncy plasmic ball. That isn't plasma.
passenger on board a commercial airliner.
Very good. You guys are on top of it. And girls. We're not all guys. Well, 90% of you. It's 80%. It's actually
All right,
85.
we're gonna enhance this footage, but we wanted to show it to you, Rob. We're just this
Show us the footage up
this
close.
evidence
Can you
lasts
get
for
in
quite
close
some
there?
time here.
I love this stuff. This is why I wake up every day. For this. Two balloons.
Right, so
I'm going to show you. It looks like there's one here, right? Right there. And then one peeks around like you're seeing about a fifth of it. Maybe. And then what you're going to see are these little pixel dots popping up on the perimeter of the object. I'm not sure if third phase said that it's spinning and these are showing, because it kind of looks like there may be tentacles that we can't see, but anywho.
I added some brightness contrast and
Thank God.
actually put a little sharpening on this image via Adobe Premiere, and it did a pretty
Adobe?
good job. It definitely looks
Yeah.
spherical, metallic. The orb, whatever you want to
Kinda
call it, the
spherical. It's
metallic sphere, it's
egg-shaped,
back.
really,
And
if you wanna get
again, it's
technical.
in pretty close proximity.
That looks very similar to
commercial
my
airliner,
egg shape,
but
my football.
This passenger did actually a pretty good job holding it steady. This thing's
But I think there's one
off at
behind
quite
it. I
a
think we're at
distance,
the
but
wrong angle.
The person had the eye to notice and pull out the camera. That's super smart of him.
Ah, they had the eye.
Yeah, he crushed it with this shot. It's just giving us enough information to get a good close-up look
And
at
you
this.
can see it's not morphing. They're just moving around it, and they're getting a different perspective on it.
As the
I gotta
plane
say,
kind of banks around it,
the
it kind
footage
of
is
reveals more
terrible,
of a body up,
and it's good at
to
the
this
same
craft.
time.
Could it be more of the Tic Tac shape? And right in the beginning, we're looking at
What
it
I don't understand. Wait,
dead straight,
what's this down here? You see this?
and it's a plane kind of does this roundabout around
That's
this
gotta
object.
be a
we
building,
see more
I
of the
guess.
fuselage of whatever this is in my
not
opinion,
moving.
it looks metal. It looks like it could be made out of stainless steel or who knows what.
Oh,
But
it
again,
looks like it could be made out of plasma. If he said plasma, I don't know what I'd do. All right, I'm going to skip over the next one. No, you're not. Yeah, I want to skip over the next one. Please don't. I have to show it. I'm being told. It's not good. I don't want to show it. Oh, wait, am I supposed to? Oh, I don't ask. I don't ask. All right, here comes the next one. Guys, I'm not a big fan of this at all.
Video coming in from Australia. Take a look at this. Another security cam captured something. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, if these There it is. It just lasted for a millisecond, probably 1 second and 29 frames per second.
You mean one frame or 1/30th of a second? This, in my opinion, is a digital glitch. I think what's going on here, it's a digital glitch and it's pulling off an image from the background here. I don't know where. But if you were to make this square, let's say square, you might get like the top of the house and you're seeing the shadow edge. Like, I think it picked a piece. We have seen, everybody here has seen a glitch like this in their lifetime. On their TV, on their app, on their iPod, on their phone. We've seen this in videos, in history. This is not a... If it's anything, it's a bug up close. But it's about 1/30th of a frame. It's a glitch. Just you be the judge.
Maybe less, but whatever flew by is super fast, and I got a feeling that
all it does is appear.
One of those.
It doesn't show it moving in any particular direction.
We're looking at something that has that tic tac characteristic, right? For sure. And what's interesting, if these things do indeed move 30,000 miles an hour, you'd be lucky enough to even capture it on a frame. But this thing was moving.
If it was moving 30,000 miles an hour, why would it only be 4 feet off the ground? I don't think it would be 4 feet off the ground.
Extraordinarily fast here.
No.
Yeah, and it's using technology that's not going to break the sound barrier or create
beep,
any kind of disturbance around it.
You can't see
sort
movement.
of supercavitation that could be going around this craft. This is the downsized version of it. Look, this thing's like maybe about 4 feet.
What do you guys think?
In distance, maybe 3 feet.
I'm asking the chat room.
Sheen about it.
Yes, that's what I was saying. It's a glitch. It's picking off a frame.
Of what people are seeing in
or
the skies.
Just
now
a piece of this house somewhere, and it just threw it up.
And this was captured again just by some security.
It's literally in the middle of the screen,
somewhere in Australia,
which tells me it's a glitch. Like if it showed up here, or here, somewhere else, I'd be like, maybe. But it shows up right in the center,
and bam, we see it
right in
there,
the center.
In this just one still shot. What is this thing?
Let's look for some indicators here.
What's
we see a little
Kennedy?
shadowing underneath this tic-tac shaped disc, but I don't see a shadow on the surface there. So yeah, I'm not seeing a shadow. So I'd imagine this thing's a little closer to the lens. Maybe the shadow's out of view, but I didn't. So again, I don't think this is manipulated. Whatever it is,
he gets a good discount on that spear, though.
Maybe it's less than.
Hey, Dorothy, Overlander, BC. How is everybody?
2 feet, maybe a foot in distance
an object?
there.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bird either. Guys, I want to get your thoughts. We're rolling this once again.
UFO?
I don't think there's any manipulation.
Okay. Artifacting.
Again, this was captured.
Dude, thank you. No glitch, CGI. But I think it's artifacting. You did it. You found the word I was looking for. Man, you're the best. No, really. Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. Dorothy says it's an oversized Mento. Yes, it is. And it's licorice and wintergreen. No. Minty green. No, mint. Mint. No, mint. No. Snow White and the Black Dwarves. Wait, that's not right. No. Okay. So I'm just reading the chat room. Stephen A says fake. I don't know. Just make something already. I don't think that's a glitch. I've seen those same crafts. Jason Summerow, how you doing? I'm going to play it a little longer. A football? It would have to be going 30,000 miles an hour. That's the thing, everybody. We don't see it passing through the screen. It just appears and then disappears. In my opinion, less than 1/30th of a frame. I think it's half a 30th. Half of a percent, half of a frame of 30. You know what I mean. Watch.
I think in 2021, the Outback, Australia. And I guess this person had their security cam just keeping an eye on that home, or he's got
Watch.
the
It just
car out there.
appears.
Not exactly sure what the reasoning for the shot was.
And it's right in the center. Sorry. You don't see a trail. You don't see a tail. You don't see a contrail. You don't see a chemtrail.
He thought it was something
You don't
that
see
he
any
should post on
movement.
social media. I don't blame him. We're looking at
I'm
something
telling you,
that's
in my experience, in my expert experience, this is a glitch.
still unexplainable.
Can't get away from
it. A UFO, that's
I
for
believe
sure.
I'm right.
Yeah,
I really
this
do.
one, again, we saw it and we're like, we need to
All right,
share it
next
because
one.
this is kind of cool.
Next
We're
one's
seeing
really interesting. I
Again,
think
we don't see
what
any
I think.
manipulation here. It
What do you
looks
think?
really good.
I'm not
going
gonna
to
tell you yet.
manipulated. Everything's kind of matching up, but is this too good to be true, Brent? We're looking at this once again. I added some brightness contrast. I want
hey,
to make this
let me
thing,
tell
whatever
you.
it is, pop. But everything.
Okay. In the 50s, sombrero UFOs were extremely popular. In the 60s, now take that 23, 25 years later to Seinfeld, and Elaine came up with the urban sombrero. Oh, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to keep this in UFOs. It's just the way my data bank works. I'm sorry. Let me. Gone. I moved it to an off file somewhere else in the Bahamas. All right. Here we go. Let's continue watching the sombrero UFO go.
Everything has its cool dynamic as the cameraman's trying to keep up with it.
Word.
Seems legit to me. Everything's kind of locked in.
Oh, that object's there. I believe
He's
it's
trying
there
to
too.
search for it. Brent, it seems organic to me. It seems that he's trying to film something.
It's organic.
Yeah, if somebody, if this is a hoax, let's just say somebody's doing a really good job on kind of showcasing characteristics of natural movement of the cameraman. But
There it
it's
is.
still a little
Thank
suspect
you,
to me.
Michael. That's
There's some
very
things that I
true.
like, and then some things that stand out. This part right there gives me the point where could this be too good to be true? But I like the aspect, especially when it kind of does that little tilt there, and then as we roll the film once again, we're gonna see this thing just kind of like move, and it has this smooth transition as it does this. If this is real, we're looking at the classic flying saucer, the what Bob Lazar would state the sports model.
It's not a sports model, you dingbat. It's just similar, but it's not a sports model.
Yeah, we're just analyzing this in real time with everybody from around the world. Me and Brent are wanting to scrutinize this, and we're again wrapping our brain around it. For so slight.
All right. I'm going to go through the chat here. Michael says, these are lower realm entities messing with you. They're playing peekaboo. They're known to be pranksters because, they get bored. So they kind of like, now you see me, now you don't. Catch me if you can kind of play a game. Very, very good, Michael. Ms. DJ, I'm sorry, this DJ 808. Why? It's a $10 million slow-mo cam. Yep, could be. Hey, Jeff Gavi. Oh, I forgot to say hi. Damn it. How you doing, brother? You can see it leave the screen. Yep. How does anyone know from Overlander, BC? How does anyone know it's even moving? Maybe it just popped into this dimension to get a reading on the camera that caught it, then popped back once done. So you're saying they just popped in here, moved around, or maybe they weren't moving, maybe because the earth moves or whatever kind of device that would do this kind of movement is doing. I believe in a way, if that was true, then these are robots, in my opinion. I believe these are drone UFOs. If this is legit. Let's see what everybody else is saying. An invisible Mexican with his hat on. I thought that too, but that would be a really big hat. So I don't know. I don't think so. Hey, the angel of GUFON, Jean-Jay Angel. Ha, Jeff Garvey, Pepper's ghost. You guys know what Pepper's ghost is? I bet you half of you don't know what Pepper's ghost is. I'm going to pull it up and give you an exact definition on what it is. It's an illusion technique used in the theater, cinema, amusement parks, museums, television, and concerts, in which an image of an object off stage is projected so that it appears to be in front of the audience. You understand? How does that work? Well, it is an illusion, a special effects technique. It uses a reflective surface like a glass or plastic. Some people think Third Phase of Moon did this in one of their videos. And at a 45-degree angle to create, you do it at a 45, you record it, but it's just, you're creating an illusion of an apparition appearing in midair, or lights, or UFOs, or flying sombreros. I don't think this is Pepper's ghost at all. Not even a little bit. I think this is actually there. The pixels seem to match. I don't see any irregularities when I zoomed in on it and played with it for a minute. I think, not that it matters, that this is a drone. Yeah. A UFO drone. Capiche? Yeah. All right, I'll show you. UFO drone. Here it is, images. Let me pull it up and show you real quick. What you think I'm doing is sick. In 5, then 4, now 3. There's the 2, there's the 1, and fun. See? So what we've got here is failure. I see this here? To communicate. All right, see this? We're getting close, right? We just opened up the page, and there we go. We could almost see we're seeing a hat. Now, we'll find it. Here, see that to the left? Hold on. Whoopsie daisy. Hold on. All right, let's look for the sombrero. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're getting close, huh? Look to the right. Not bad. No, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looks like we've made it. Left each other all alone. We did it. I want one of these. I want one of these. I want one of these. How fun would that be? So there you go. Right? Ready? Boop. Now, boop. See, it's pretty close, right? All you got to do, all you got to do is put a little cover on it. Change it up, mask it a little bit, dress it up, right? Let's go. Let's see if we can find an exact match. I don't know if we'll find an exact match. I think we found a match, but close enough that I'm satisfied knowing that I think I'm looking at a drone. And I want to show you something in a minute. I think the video that Third Phase has here, no blame on those guys. I would have posted it too. It looks like when it moves from the hovering point, it looks like a drone. Like when a drone takes off, you could even see like it kicks itself. Like, oh, you know what I mean. All right, hold on. So we've got one of these. See this? I know it's a small version, but here we go. It's not impossible that what we're looking at is a drone. It moves like a drone. It looks like a sombrero. I'm not buying it's a UFO. Plus, on the bottom of it, it looks like that's where the main component is of the motor and all that stuff. in the video. We'll pull it up again in a minute. I just want to keep looking. Remember these here on the top right here? See my thing? Those were cool back then. So if I typed in not top hat, sombrero UFO drone, let's see what happens. Is that how you spell sombrero? Here we go. Sombrero drone. See more anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure I did the right thing, but you have to look at everything. I like that picture there. There we go, see? But I don't see the actual drone. We could type in hat, maybe? Hat-shaped UFO drone. Here we go. See more butts anyway. Anyway, I don't know if we're going to find it, but I am going to vote on the side of caution. Is that how you say it? That this is a drone. No fault for Third Phase of Moon for posting it. I would have done it too because it's in the sky. And if it is a UFO, now that does look a little bit different than what we were just looking at. But it doesn't mean they can't dress it up and make it look like this.
There, it kind of gives a view of the top rim of the portion of the ring
There's one
around
more
it.
I want to show you.
It almost
too.
looks like yeah, that's looking pretty good to me, Brent. And again, captured in Spain. I'm
See
not
how
exactly
it wobbles,
sure
but
the
watch when
province
it
once
takes
again,
off.
but,
It gives like that
people do
typical.
talk about UFOs up there as well.
Nah,
And if
that's
you're
not the
listening
version.
from Spain,
This one.
let us know where you're tuning in from.
I
Brent?
believe it's this one.
Yeah, let's look at this again. This is could be the smoking gun, or it could be a great hoax. Just somebody done by somebody that kind of knows what they're doing.
Yeah, they keep showing that one.
It could be too good
that's
to be
a
true.
smooth
That
takeoff.
that little
Actually,
blur could have
that's
been
different than the other one.
It's easy to do in a Premiere.
I don't know, guys.
And it could be done in seconds,
know.
where you create the blur effect and then go into its natural state.
And this is what I feared most. Well, Burning the Veil with Anjali. How big do you think it is, Richie? I think this. Let me get another look.
With this thing superimposed
you.
on there, but I wouldn't throw money on this one. But if it was true, then
It's
hey, we
hard to
lost a
tell.
lot of money.
I would say 10 feet. 10 feet across. 7 to 10. Yeah. And it could be 25 to 30. That's what I don't like. If it's legit, it could be any size. But to me, it looks like
We'll see
anywhere
what's
between.
if we're gonna
Let me
we're
see
gonna put
again.
this under some more software. We're gonna maybe ask AI Gort 3 and
Let me get to the
see
beginning
what
part.
it has to say, because we're
where I
just good
think
to
we
be
get
true. But once again, I added
this
some
one.
brightness contrast. I wanted to
All right, so let me see. If I was to guess on how big this is.
be true, Brent. We're
The size of a car. Yeah. Small car. I'd say 12 to 15 feet. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, they're not far off.
Done by somebody that kind of knows what they're doing. It could be too good to be
I don't
true.
know.
That part, that little blur.
Yeah, see what he just said? Very good. He said it could be too good to be true. Or it really is a UFO and we're dismissing it because it's too good to be true. Or it's really a UFO and we're dismissing it because it's too good to be true. Or it's too good to be true, so we're just dismissing a real UFO. Or it's not a drone, it's a real UFO, but we're calling it a drone and dismissing it as a drone. I don't like my odds. I feel awful telling you this. I do. It hurts. It pains me to think we can't tell you an answer. Tell you an answer? Give you an answer? Explain. And the video's not good enough. It's good, but it's not good enough to break it down and tell you what I'm looking at.
It could have been, it's
the
easy to do in a
video
premiere.
you want to show
And
people
it
when
could be
you
done
say,
in seconds,
I think
where
this
you
is
create
real.
the blur effect and then go into its natural state with this thing superimposed on there. But I wouldn't.
Okay, because if it was a balloon, the only thing it can be, anything remote controlled. A drone, a balloon drone. This could be just a balloon drone. Those are real too. So very, 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 very difficult. And I don't know what the black strip would be for, but I would imagine the top portion of this shell or dome may spin, and or the bottom spins, or all of it goes different directions. I don't know. Nobody knows. There's one more they got here. I think it's not bad. So let's pull it up and go.
Their video that's up on
Thanks,
the
Anjali.
roster. It's about to roll, and it's another metallic sphere.
Right. Here's a good question. Hold on. Aaliyah says, now if you're thinking like a human, you're traveling amongst the stars, you think you'd want something big enough to walk around, stretch your legs. Imagine all those millions of miles just sitting in one spot. Forget it. Well, this is why these are probably scout ships, right? The pawns, they sent them out from the mothership. Why bring in the mothership that's probably the size of the Earth? It's probably really big. And you just send in your testers, your feelers, just like you're playing a game. Yeah, go do reconnaissance. Tell us what life forms are out there. Report back. Is it breathable? Is the atmosphere good for us? Do we have to wear a suit or just a mask? Or do we have to wear a whole thing? Can we drink the water? Probably not. So they send them out there, and that's what these little ships do. And I don't think they have any life forms. I think they're either cyborg, mostly machine with a brain that is of their living creature that who knows how smart it was. But if they're going to come up with some sort of technology, they would need a computer, and their computer would probably have something equivalent to what we think AI is. It's probably slow for them, but our AI is really good for us. And they can do stuff in real time, real quick, right in front of you. And that's the magic of the alien technology. Their cloaking, their ability to move on a dime, change directions without even worrying about dying because they're not living. And a lot of people think they put the gravity bubble around the ship. That's how they really travel, with this gravity bubble. So they can make the turns. And to them, it may seem really slow and, like, oh, can't you go any faster? But to us, it's like so fast, we couldn't even imagine it. That's the difference. And they don't feel it because they're in the gravity bubble. It's constantly throwing in front of them a gravity bubble to go into. So they're constantly being thrown into this gravity bubble, and it's pulling them into the direction they want to go in any imaginable speed you could thrust. Now, I think Bob Lazar talked about that, right? Bob Lazar brought that up. He said that's how they use it. I got the you got their single, and you got your dual, and then you got your three, and they all aim downward, but they they can turn and then he showed it was really cool. Now, Did we see that with the sombrero UFO? I don't know. If we did, it's a shame. You know why? Because we should be staring at that if it was a real UFO. When we find out that a real UFO is from a real alien civilization, I won't be able to take my eyes off of it. I will stare at it like, where have you been my whole life? All right, let's watch this. I know, I like hearing myself talk. Is that so bad for me? If you ask me, I think it's all right. Thanks, Aaliyah. All right, boop. Do you remember those people who think mountains are creatures? Here's one. Here's a face. Here's the lips. Go up. Here's the nose. And then here's the eyebrow right between the eyes. There's the eye. There's the nose hole. There's the mouth. Chin. Do you see it? Here's the eye socket. Right there. Look. There's the eye. The nose. You don't see it. It's kind of, head is tilted back about 18 degrees. Yeah. All right. I'm just saying, that's how crazy people get. They see, and we're designed, our body's made up to see faces and things. It's what makes us survive, because if you're lost and you're a baby and you see a face, you go, Mama, and you scream real loud, not knowing it's mommy, and they come and get you and save you and raise you as wolves. All right, go ahead. Yeah, this one's cool. If it slowed down and changed directions, then I would be enthralled with this. But I'm just a little happy, not enthralled. Because I need things to change speed for me to believe. This looks like every balloon that has gotten loose across the sky of this planet that we call Earth. I think this one goes right into the trees and disappears. Didn't we see this one like a year ago?
Right, let's roll that once again. And again, with our software
I
here,
guess not.
I put some,
Alrighty.
We just want to get a better look at this
We just
thing.
want to
So I
look at
blew
it,
it
that's
up
all.
probably about 200%, added some brightness, contrast, and once again, sharpened it. No AI enhancement, just in-house Adobe Premiere tools. And
Word.
I think I got a pretty good look at this thing. It definitely has that, once again, metallic sphere characteristic.
Wait.
And
Did he say, I think I got a pretty good look at it? What does that mean?
once again, and again, with our software here, I put some, we just want to get a better look at this thing. So I blew it up probably about 200%, added some brightness, contrast, and once again, sharpened it. No AI enhancement, just in-house Adobe Premiere tools. And I think I got a pretty good look at this thing.
Okay, he's saying he thinks he did a good enough job. He brought it out to give us as much detail as humanly possible. Okay.
It definitely has that.
Well, thank God he's
metallic
here.
Sphere characteristic, and it's not. It seems that it has a purpose. If this were some
Because
kind of
let me tell you, as much cleaning up as he did, it's still shitty. It sucks. And there's a flashing light on it. Do you see it? Did you see the flashing light on the right side of it? Watch. Watch when it gets lower. It turns to a way you see this flashing, unless it's just pixelating. Let's take a look. Okay, I think it's pixelating. It looks like a light is flashing. But I think it's the pixelating. How weird. It didn't start until it hit the greenery of the trees. That's why I wanted to see what would happen. Where's the speed? Go. I want to see if I'm going crazy. There, you can see it. There, flash. What is that? That is bizarre. All right, let's see if it's in the blue. I don't see. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait. It was only when it went past the mountain. So let's go back. I don't like this video. There's something screwy. Hold on. All right. As soon as it changes, let's see. I want it to be in the dark background to see these flashes, if there are any. Here we go. Hit the mountain. There it is. There are. There was two. Ooh, see that? Now let's see what happens when it changes. I want it to get into this tree area. Here it comes. I don't see any flashing. No white flashing. Not yet. Not yet. Nothing. 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 There. No? You know we all saw it before, right? Here we go. Let's test it here. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm positive it's going to happen. Here we go. Right here. Right when it hits there. Say what? It's not flashing. No flashes here. So maybe it was just pixelating. Oh, there's something. I think that was just pixelating. Let's see. Yeah, I think it was. But there it is again. No, it's pixels. It really... Oh, there they are. Look. It's got to be pixelating. So why does it happen only on that side? That's weird. You see it now, right? It's a lot. It's even leaving. Weird. I don't think the object weird. I think just the way it's played out. It's weird. How come there's no more of that flashing? All right, well, let's put it back to normal speed and see. It will come back. You'll see. There it is. Anyway, that was interesting. Yeah, you can see the flashes. They're not flashes. It's just pixelating. But I had to look for myself.
Right, let's roll that once again. And again, with our software here, I put some, we just want to get a better look at this thing. So I blew it up probably about 200%, added some brightness, contrast, and once again, sharpened it. No AI enhancement, just in-house Adobe Premiere tools. And I think I got a pretty good look at this thing. It definitely has that, once again, metallic sphere characteristic, and it's not... It seems that it has a purpose. If this were some kind of balloon, it would undulate as it's moving around. This thing seems it has purpose and some weight to it.
Yeah, it looks like it's doing some sort of controlled descent over the village there. And this is at some distance. We see it. I'll estimate this thing being the size of maybe 4 feet, 3 feet. But it's definitely cylindrical. It's not like your normal typical balloon. This is like a sphere, metallic, moving in the skies. I really like this.
We want to get your thoughts with regards to some of the UFO videos we've been sharing, and we want to get your thoughts with regards to the newest documentary that just dropped, and it's on Amazon, Apple TV. The link is below. One of the feature players in this documentary is Linda Moulton Howe. She's been in the business for decades, and Paula Asteria reached out to Linda and asked her if she wanted to participate in a documentary with some of the top women in ufology. And we're going to share with you an exclusive, a 4-minute cut from Nexus to Disclosure. The Truth is Classified. And
Oh,
we're gonna
isn't
roll
this
it
a
here
nice
just
little treat? Yeah, we're going to watch this. This is fun. Go grab your corn, go grab your pop, and put it together and watch your popcorn. Linda Moulton, howdy doody, fresh and fruity. Let's spend 5 minutes and see what's up.
a few moments, but
That's exciting.
what's interesting
It
is these women, again, they had so much information, and some of the things they had to go through to get to the point they are in life, it's incredible, and the achievements is beyond. So here's a sneak peek.
Probably one of the hardest questions, not only to answer in a verbal way, but even to come to terms with mentally and at the soul level. If the governments of this earth have not opened up the truth about other life in this universe, in this galaxy, maybe even in this solar system, what happens if a craft lands and takes over its own introduction to Homo sapien, 8 billion people on Earth? What happens to governments and organizing groups who have never told the truth?
Very unique.
And then the truth is on every television, every satellite. I think that's part of the reason why the governments have been so reluctant and hesitant to tell the truth, because they have sat on the truth for decades.
No, that's not why.
And then, in this context of all of this hidden truth, classified reality, you contemplate, I have contemplated, if I were a tall white, a Nordic, a gray, a reptilian, a blue, a praying mantis.
A
The
blue?
list goes on and on and on that have been sketched by humans meeting them.
A blue.
Some ET.
The blue man group? I'm sorry. I just took a hit off this. The blue man group?
How would I
Howard
want to
Cosell?
introduce myself when the
Sorry.
so-called leaders of Earth
Meteors?
don't tell their populations anything?
Never seen a woman with hair in there.
And it's very clear that the non-humans know everything that's going on in
You
the
know-
brains of humans. They are telepathic. They can pick up anything. And
I would say the mask is starting to wear out. She looks good for 86. I gotta be honest. She looks good for, I mean, it's Linda Moulton Howe, man. She looks the same to me for the last 20 years. She's doing something to prevent, getting any older looking. No, really.
it has
Seriously.
really occurred to me several times.
I
If
take it
I were
back.
in
Never
the
mind.
position of any of these beings that
I'm
have
scared.
manipulated DNA and already evolving primates to create Homo sapien, whatever is the goal of their experimentation, what a strange revelation. How do you introduce yourself to a planet in which the leaders have lots of information, but the leaders that are human are not telling the truth to any of the rest of the billions of humans? What does that say about the leaders versus the followers? What does that say to the extraterrestrial civilizations, plural, that come and go here for whatever their reasons are? So it may be that the extraterrestrial biological entities and all of their assorted artificial intelligence have been watching all of this, maybe absolutely dumbfounded themselves about what is this planet of 8 billion creatures that have souls, that recycle at the moment of death, that go into other dimensions and have other lives. But the so-called leaders are not leveling with all of these humans?
What? What? We are going to talk about that in a minute. Hold, I had to stop. I couldn't breathe.
That extraterrestrials are here. They have been based beneath the basins of the oceans and seas of planet Earth for thousands, millions of years. They are based inside of mountains like the Himalayas and the Andes. The extraterrestrials probably know way more about planet Earth than any of our most sophisticated geophysicists know. What does it say about Homo sapien and those that grab hold of power and grab hold of the money that sustains Earth? And they still won't tell the 8 billion others the truth.
Wow. She is all in on the aliens are here theory. So, she's been in this field twice as long as me, right? 40 years, probably more. So it makes me wonder, why do I not have that kind of belief? I believe there's something going on, but I can't say that. She's saying, a lot of things like she knows for sure there's aliens here. And if she's right, I would hate to be wrong. I want to know, but I need proof. She's heard the same stories we all have. So I guess the question is, what do you believe? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And that's all that should matter to you, because nobody's telling us anything. In a way, she's wrong, but in a way, she's right. She keeps saying 8 billion people need to know. No, have you seen how unbelievably crazy people are on Black Friday? Did you see what happened when George Floyd was allegedly, offed? You saw what happened. You want to tell the world, especially America and the UK and Germany, you want to tell us in the UK, yeah, that aliens are here? Watch the world burn. Watch the world burn. They may be here, but there's probably an agreement somewhere to not expose their existence. And that agreement is for our safety. Yeah, not for theirs. It's for because I didn't like what Linda was saying about these humans have did she say we have the ability to mind read and psychic abilities, or was she saying that the aliens had this ability? I was daydreaming at the time because I'm like, what did she just say? Hold on.
In this galaxy, maybe even in this solar system.
She's
What
serious.
happens if a craft lands and takes over its own introduction to Homo sapien, 8 billion people on Earth? What happens to governments and organizing groups who have never told the truth, and then the truth is on every television?
Okay, she's saying, what if the aliens decided to show themselves to the world? That doesn't mean the government was lying for 80 years. Because they could she didn't think this through. Because the government can say, hey, we didn't know. I don't care what you believe. We don't know these aliens. And whatever you think happened in Roswell was not them. That's going to happen. If they do come back and say, yeah, we had to keep it a secret. They had us by the balls. They said if we tell the humans, they will destroy everything. What would you do if you were us? Exactly. You'd make the deal. And you'd live with it. And you'd go to sleep, cry yourself to sleep every night. Did I do the right thing? You'll never know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we reincarnate too, she said. Yeah. Where's that proof? Or is that just our belief, she said? Check this out.
Every satellite. I think that's part of the reason why the governments have been so reluctant and hesitant to tell the truth. Because they have sat on the truth for decades.
They don't care. Oh, no. Oh, they're gonna hate us. Oh, my. We already know, Linda. So what if they come out and say, hey, yeah, we knew, we just couldn't tell. Everybody's gonna go, yeah, we know.
And then
we'll burn the White House.
in this context
right.
of all of this hidden truth, classified reality.
And let me tell you something. I don't think any politician, anybody in government, even the president, a king, or whatever, should be punished for keeping it a secret. I don't even think they know anything. I just think they know that there's something going on and they can't see it. That's it. Yeah, they get this. Yes, there are aliens, and no, you can't see shit.
I have contemplated. If I were a tall white, a Nordic, a gray,
I'd bang you. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I'm just joking.
a reptilian,
Yummy.
a blue, a praying mantis. The list goes on and on and on that have been sketched by humans meeting them. Some ET. How would I want to introduce myself when the so-called leaders of Earth don't tell their populations anything?
Don't tell their populations anything. All right. I'll put the link to that in the show description. No reason to keep abusing you people. There were these loud booms that were being heard near Washington, D.C. yesterday. Now, everybody's talking about, but nobody did. Nobody was talking about it on the news. People were just brushing it off until late in the day today. I don't know why my stomach's all of a sudden. Oh, never mind. I just drank some stuff on an empty. All right, here we go. Those loud booms, to me, they sound like shock waves.
Failure happened amid all of the UFO sightings that occurred this weekend, and that was on April 13th, 2025. Loud, unidentified boom.
You know what I like about this girl? She doesn't give a forget about. Look at her pants. She's wearing like her pajama bottoms. She probably didn't think they were showing. But yeah, isn't that great? Could work at home.
Were heard near Washington, D.C.
Look at she's wearing.
These are different and they're weird.
Look at, she's even got food stain. You got food stains on your shirt, lady.
So anybody in the area who else
Jesus.
have heard these, comment below or post your video if you have one.
All right.
Does anybody know what happened or what these are from?
Oh my God.
Take a look at this. Listen to it. Tell me what you think. Comment below.
Take a listen. Does anybody know that noise? It sounds like guns, right? Does anybody know that noise? Yeah, she had a tattoo on her right arm. Hey, Rustic, what part of are you moving near Tampa? Shotgun? That sounded like a shotgun? Yeah, there was thunder up there. That's God striking, bowling. 50 cal? Ah, you're going to be 2 hours away. Not bad. That's not so far. That's not bad. That's about my limit, about as how far I drive when I do my audits. Sniper. Nobody's thinking. I don't know. Here's something out there. People are falling all around them. I just don't know what it is. Paw paw. Sounds like could be a maybe somebody's car backfired. People are still dying all around him. He's getting splattered with blood. What's this red dye? I don't understand. This stuff in the sky's not even that cloudy. People are so stupid. Get out of there. You hear stuff like that, you get the hell out of town. Unbelievable, right? Anyway, those are the loud booms. So this is what it says. This next thing. Imperfect organism, not balloons. Imperfect organism deemed balloons? Are they? That's what it says. Some non-human balloons filmed in Poland 2021. Okay. I remember this. I haven't seen this on the TV, on the big screen. I don't know, man. I don't like this shit. See, this looks like see it on the right, but it looked like balloons, right? And then you look at it zoomed in, and it looks like a structure of some sort. I don't like it. I still think it's balloons, though. Yeah. I think this was a cluster of balloons that is deflating, and that's why it's going towards the ground. It has lost its big balloon on the top and maybe some stabilizers on the bottom or maybe in the middle. Don't know. But it doesn't have the normal balloon shape, but it has the normal balloon shape. I don't know. I can't make out what it is. I guess it is a UFO or balloon. I don't know. I don't like it. And this is the problem we're going to have. My thing is, why didn't that videographer follow it all the way to the end and show us? I want to see what happens when it gets closer, when it gets to the ground. That should have been their responsibility. You want to record a UFO? That's history. Why would you let history slip through your fingers? Idioso. Because it's not what they're telling us. When it doesn't make sense, there's something wrong. E-I, oh no! John Keel. You remember John Keel, everybody? Ridiculous comment about only seeing. Oh my God. Oh, this made me so mad. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't ask me why this triggers me, but it's because it's John Keel saying that. He says we're only seeing the slaves. Aliens. We haven't seen the masters. What he said. We have not been viewing the masters, only the slaves. Wow. And then this person says, ponder that. That is probably one of the most profound statements in ufology. Uh, it can't be. If there was context leading up to that, maybe. But there was nothing. Well, we have not been viewing the masters. Who the fuck is he to determine who are the masters and who are the slaves? Who has been visited by slaves? Raise your hands. Who's been visited by the masters? Raise your hands. Who the frig knows who's the slave and who's the master? How you supposed to know? They all look alike to me. But they do. All the grays look the same. They do. Not a racist comment. All group of aliens look the same in their own groups. It's true. Stop it. Now you're fire starting the crowd. John Keel. What a race. I knew that guy was like, I knew he thought that way. Oh, so very strange. We haven't seen the Masters. How do you know? You know why he said that? Because the Masters tournament was on yesterday. For golf. John Keel should just get out of ufology before it's too late, before he gets himself hurt. He's going to hurt himself. Did you know? Listen to this. This is the most, I'm going to show you this video and you're going to wish you've seen this before. This is cool. This is very cool. This might be the coolest thing I've seen in a minute. Well, it goes back, I think, to 1944, World War II, maybe one, I don't know. But these were flying aircraft carriers. Have you ever seen these things? This is amazing to me. It really is. I don't know why I'm so high strung tonight. Like, really, calm down. You know?
Was hidden inside this airship. Longer than 3 city blocks, it had everything 100 Navy sailors needed to remain in the sky for up to a week at a time. Sleeping quarters, restrooms, galleys, workshops, even a mess hall.
Check this out.
This was the USS Macon, a giant Navy warship and the world's first flying aircraft carrier, armed with its own fighter aircraft for defense. They could be launched mid-air straight from a hangar inside the ship using a trapeze system.
How cool.
When the Macon was in danger, the fighters would deploy to form a ring of defense, and they could scout for hundreds of miles hunting down the enemy. The Macon also had machine gunners stationed all around, ready to fire on anything that came too close. You might think an airship would be easy to shoot down, but the Macon wasn't some flimsy blimp. It was built with a solid frame and helium cells that didn't explode or deflate under pressure. Even if it took damage, it could still keep flying. Back in the 1930s, the US built 2 massive flying carriers, and they had plans for a whole fleet of them. Find out what happened to these giants. Watch the full story on the Must.
That is wild. I thought that was interesting because, you know, you always thought it was the Germans that had the flying blimps and the Zeppelins, you know, and that was back in World War I believe. What a wonderful world we're living in today. If you really think about the history of America, this is probably the best time to be alive. You want to know the other best time? Before 9/11. Before 9/11 happened, everything seemed great. It really did. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it wasn't bad. Makes me sad they went that direction. Anyway, all that And we're stuck with see something, say something. That's where we are now. 20 something years later, we're still doing see something, say something. All right, here's a UFO that was over Florida. Now, hold on to your hats because it's another one. Another metallic sphere over Key West, 40,000 feet above the world. Yeah. Now, when you see this, you're going to say, hey, wait a minute. Didn't we just see this on third phase of moon? Well, that is possible. And it is. And let me tell you something. I thought that was a different video. That's funny. It is the same video. And it's not good. Third phase did clean up that video. It looked much better than the one I had here. Not everything that looks human is human. Just remember that. All right, what else? Viral alien photos allegedly showed deceased alien. I got to show you this. Yeah, this story's making the rounds. Vetted is talking about it, of course. When Vetted talks, everybody wants to listen. I don't get it. But take a listen to this. Patrick does a really good job. Right? Oh, wait. No. It's this. Look, I'm not talking about this. Guys, this is old. They're talking about this as if it's new. Doesn't he know?
Found in Russia. And actually, what I found out is that these are screenshots from a video. And
all right, he doesn't know anything about it. I'm not going to talk about that because we've talked about that a half a dozen times here over the years. So I have no interest. I thought it was going to be something else. I don't watch them on purpose. All right, what do we got? Christopher Mellon on non-released UAP videos. So the new CIA director, who I can't stand. This guy is the biggest two-faced lying asshole that you could possibly have anywhere. I don't like him. Well, anyway, he's the new CIA director. Maybe he'll change my mind. John Ratcliffe, when he was DNI, acknowledged at CNN, on CNN, that we have satellite imagery of UFOs, and I've seen some of them as well, he said. Even more compelling than those infrared videos, the gimbal, the go fast, and the FLIR, he says. Really? Him? Do you believe it? I don't. Christopher Mellon? Yeah, he's seen him. I just want you to watch this. Hold on, I got to check something out. I think I just saw something that didn't make sense. Okay, here we go. Boop, boop.
Asked them, I said, I know this sounds crazy, but please listen to what these guys have to say. We brought then the Navy pilots in, and that's what really worked. Those were the guys that had the credibility. So when the Navy pilots came in and ran through their experiences and talked the senators through this, and they began to see some of the other evidence, and of course they're also then able to get some of the classified information that complements, reinforces, expands on some of this. There are lots of other videos. So, for example, this is one of numerous F-18 cockpit at FLIR videos. I've seen some of the others. And why they're not released to the public, so I was investigated for having released these, and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations confirmed this was unclassified, didn't compromise national security. I would argue that it advanced national security because it made us aware of a potential threat that wasn't being addressed so that we could begin working to close that vulnerability. And yet, they have, I don't know at this point, how many dozens like this that they still haven't released. So the executive order on classification says, when in doubt, you should make it unclassified. And I can't imagine what lawful basis they have for classifying that after they publicly acknowledged that this did not damage national security. And that's a small example of a larger issue. So the new CIA director, when he was director of national intelligence, acknowledged on CNN that we have satellite imagery of UAP. And I've seen some of that as well. And some of that is even more compelling, perhaps.
God, can't get rid of this tickle. Is it me, or can Christopher Mellon be used as a sleep aid? That guy is so boring. All he does is drone. I almost put myself to sleep right there. That was perfect. That's it for tonight. That's all I got. I can't move another inch. We'll be back mañana. This week, Jeff Willis will be joining us again. And I want to say thank you to the moderators, the super chatters, the newcomers, and the veterans. Thank you all for hanging out tonight here at GUFON. Appreciate that. Can you please do me a favor? Sub the shit out of the channel. Please sub if you haven't already. And we'll be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Should be right on. Oh, no. We're off tomorrow. We're off Tuesdays and Friday. We'll be on RSA, though. Rich Saves America. So we'll be there at 7. We'll be back here Wednesday. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out. So with that being said, hey, if you ain't looking up, that's right, you ain't looking out for ufology. It's truthology for ufology. We do this for you. That was a little snotty in a way, right? A little, no? I thought it was, yeah. Anyway, it should be. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much once again for hanging out on one of the most entertaining podcasts on ufology. Thank you very much. I'm Rich. I'm signing off. And yeah, if you ain't looking up, you're not looking out for ufology. But we don't say God bless here because everybody has their own meaning of what they want that to be. So we say alien bless. Okay? So I have to remind the peeps that are new why we say that at the end of the show, because somebody asks, why do you say that? Really? You have to ask a UFO channel why they say alien bless at the end of the show? Anyway, that's the world we live. Alien bless.
Look at this thing. It's rotating. What was in the skies of and why did it downward treasured sites in Christianity?